Merry Christmas and happy holidays to all on our page and our YouTube channel. The 8-7 Detroit Lions travel to Minneapolis to take on our 7-8 Vikings in a Christmas Day showdown. Will Mad Max play the role of Grinch and ruin the Lions' faint playoff hopes? The Vikings look to open another present and a fourth straight victory, led by Brian Flores' stout defense. It's the Lions and Vikings, an old NFC North showdown, and Tony and Eric break it down now.
First of all, Merry Christmas to everyone here, your families. Massive challenge. Dan's going to have his team ready to go. It's going to be physical. It's going to be 60 minutes of NFC North football, and this game means a lot to us, and we're putting everything we've got into it. You know, knowing we get a chance to play in front of our great fans again at US Bank Stadium here to close the season a couple times.
Right from the Christmas music into Kevin O'Connell, Tony Bell. You know, I mean, first of all, I got to say something. This is a big game for a lot of reasons. And the difference of this is, and we'll break this down, and thank you for joining us here on the official Purple Skull Squad show for Minnesota Viking fans. Tony Bell, Quality Control, yours truly, here to break this game down for you. And hopefully you guys are all set with your Christmas gifts and family all in town, enjoying the holidays. But this is a big game, Tony Bell, because if the Vikings do win, okay, and I'm not going to give away the beans, but they're underdogs at home by a lot too, because probably the fact that Mad Max is quarterbacking this game. But if they beat the Lions, they will then jump the Lions in the standings, and they will have eliminated the Detroit Lions. That's great. But the Vikings will then go from a fourth place schedule to a third place schedule. And that's a big deal as far as scheduling goes. Now, listen, I don't care because we can't predict what teams are going to be good and bad year to year. There's always jumps. But when you're playing a different division, if this means playing the difference between playing the NFC South or the NFC West, you know, it's a little bit of a bigger picture, Tony, right? And actually, the Vikings have done this in the past. We've known that they've won games that maybe they shouldn't have won for draft purposes in the old infamous Joe Webb days. But this is like an interesting situation, right?
Not really. If you're out there to play football, you're out there to win.
Yeah, I get it.
I mean, here's the thing. You don't worry about next year is going to happen next year. Everything changes next year. You just worry about this year. And you've got players right now on this team that are vying for jobs. You've got Brian Flores, who, if he shuts down this Lions defense like he did before, that man's going to get in it. He's going to get a head coaching gig somewhere.
Yeah. In fact, Tony, I was going to save the statistic for you. Do you know the last time that the Minnesota Vikings have given up a throwing touchdown?
I'm going to say that was the Eagles?
Close. Week 10, Baltimore Ravens, Lamar Jackson.
Oh, that's right.
3-yard pass to Mark Andrews. That's week 10.
That's week 10, yeah.
We're on week 17. It has been 6 weeks. It's been a month and 2 weeks since his defense. And, you know, you have to seriously be a huge – Viking fans knew who was in the secondary. But if you're just a casual fan, like, who's really in the Vikings secondary? They are like – they're playing like Jay Ward. You know, Byron Murphy finally had his first interception of the year last week. That's the Giants. I mean, Isaiah Rodgers has been kind of burnt toast a lot. But, I mean, they do not allow a lot of throwing touchdowns. And, again, that you have to tip your cap to Brian Flores. So, basically, Tony, before we get to purple headlines and I give you some notes about this game coming up Thursday night on Christmas Day, basically, if you're the Vikings, you better pay Brian Flores. I am banking a ton of money. I'm paying him almost as much as Kevin O'Connell to stay. I think you almost have to because, granted, Flores might go. I mean, he has to take a head coaching job if there's one available. And we talked about it last show. The Giants would be back where he's from, Brooklyn, New York, and they have a good young defense already. That, you know, an improving defense, not yet really good, but they have a lot of players on that defense. Lawrence, Burns. We got to see it last week. Thibodeau, Carter. So he'd be going into a nice situation, and there's some good offensive players. They're young ones. Or two of them are hurt. Could be a good situation. I mean, he has to take a head coaching job, but if there's not one there, if the NFL, for whatever reason, is going to continue to blacklist him, then there's going to be a team that's going to give him buco bucks just to be defensive coordinator. I would get this done now. I don't know what they're waiting for, Tony, because the longer they wait, the more money it's going to cost them to retain him.
That's why this front office is terrible. This front office is our own worst enemy. It's almost like they don't want to do anything. If you're going to pay Flores damn near the same amount of money as KOC, they're probably thinking, well, that's going to upset KOC. Who cares? Who cares?
I would think if I'm KOC, I want Flores. I don't care what you pay him. Keep him.
But unfortunately, KOC has an ego that he thinks he is the man.
Yeah. We do
so, and if I'm Brian Flores, I'm kind of like, why the hell do I want to stick around here?
That is a $1 million question, or maybe more like $8 million question that they have to answer. And it has to be relatively soon. I don't think they should wait. I think they should come together. It's the season of giving. Let's give him a gift. Let's pull him up in the office and say, hey, Brian, if you don't take a head coaching job, if we understand, but here's a deal in place. We want to keep you here for a long time. Kevin O'Connell will help name you co-coach. What do you think? Let's continue this ride.
For them to wait this long.
Yeah, it makes you think that that's not going to happen.
Either they know something inside the NFL circles with the owners and stuff, or they have no interest in bringing them back. And it could be they have no interest in bringing them back.
Or maybe Brian doesn't want to be back. Maybe Brian is.
I'm thinking Brian doesn't want to be back. I mean,
not a Minnesota person, more of an East Coast guy. Maybe he just wants to make his own call on this, and he's going to have the pick of the litter as far as a coordinator's job. Well, I think the head coaching scenario might be a little tougher, depending on what team.
You know what, though? After what happened in Miami, he's got that fire burning that, guess what? I was right about Tua. So he's going to be like, some NFL team is going to take a lawsuit or not. Some NFL team is going to take a shot.
Well, they should. I mean, Brian deserves that opportunity. I mean, he turned that Miami team around. Let's not forget that. The defense went from last, I think, to the top of the league the following year. And he had them going in the right direction, but him and the owner did not see eye to eye. The owner wanted him to lay down. He was not going to lay down.
He wasn't going to lay down.
No.
That's the way that's what you don't do.
That's exactly what you don't do.
That's exactly what you don't do.
Even though I did bring up the fact that if the Vikings do lose, they'll have an easier schedule. And let's just look at that for a moment. The New England Patriots' fourth place schedule, they're vying for a number one seed in the football world, right? So it helped them out a lot.
You know what helped them out even more?
Yeah, Drake May.
Hiring Mike Vrabel and bringing back Josh McDaniel.
And drafting Drake May.
That's what helped them.
Exactly.
We are our own worst enemy. That's all I'm going to say.
Just a few tidbits for you guys out there just to know the NFL and Fox will be having the game. Noah Eagles and Drew Brees. And that's an interesting name because Drew Brees played the Vikings on a Christmas day back in 2020, Tony Bell. And that was the game where Alvin Kamara made every fantasy owner that had him a very happy winner with his 6 touchdowns. I believe the final score was like 52-33 or something like that. It was just a ridiculous game. Both teams were just every time they had the ball, they were driving down the field, and it was a touchdown every time. Oh, hey, Anthony Tollison, breaking news. We got Brett Rippon back. Who knew? Sounds like KOC sounds like the Charlie Brown team.
And you know what, Anthony? I agree with you because every time he talks, all I hear is wah, 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 wah. That's all I hear. I can't listen to him anymore. I just can't.
We do have a couple questions that we put on the page. Granted, we got off to a late start today. Really busy day for the Petersons, and we're in the process of we're going to be picking up our son very shortly. So we had to get everything prepared here at the homestead. But the two questions that we're asking you out there, and if you're watching, thank you for doing so. You can answer this on our Facebook page as well. Remember, if you get a chance on the YouTube page, tell your friends about us, like and subscribe. It costs you nothing. You like the content you want to create. We love having creators be part of our page. So you can start doing this yourself if you want to. The poll question is, who is the Vikings MVP for the 2025-2026 season? I'm going to get Tony Bell's answer in just a minute. And because it is Christmas in just 2 days, we celebrate Christmas Eve, so we'll be opening presents tomorrow night. What is your favorite Vikings gift that you got at Christmas? Your favorite Vikings gift that you got at Christmas, either as a kid or maybe even as an adult. Maybe somebody got you a pair of tickets or got you an autographed jersey or you got to meet somebody. But what is your favorite Vikings Christmas gift? So, Tony Bell, what is your favorite Vikings gift? And who is the MVP for the 2025-2026? Even though there's 2 games left, who's the guy that you'd give the award to? I'm going to let you know that my guy's Will Reichard. I'm giving it to Will Reichard. It has been a long time since the Minnesota Vikings have had a kicker where you don't have to worry when he lines up. Everything he kicks, I mean, this guy's got a leg. He is my MVP of the 20. Maybe that says something about the season. Yeah. But I'm going to give it to the kicker. How about that? You know, Tony Bell, there was a kicker who won the MVP of the league. Do you know who that was? Early 80s.
Okay.
I think he was a straightaway kicker.
Mark Mosley,
the Washington Redskins.
Yeah.
Not the Commodores, like I called the Commanders last week, the Washington Commodores, which would probably still be better than the Washington Commanders. Yes, as a Washington Redskin, Mark Mosley.
Mark Mosley.
He missed a ton of kicks, too. He wasn't – but that year, I think it was – was it the year they won the Super Bowl against the Dolphins? I think it was.
No, I think the year he won it, they lost to the
Raiders,
yeah.
To the Raiders. That was the infamous Jack Squire game and the Marcus Allen incredible run game. And like that, the Redskins were favored to win that game. But, the Raiders, when they get into the Super Bowl, they usually do some pretty big things. So what is your favorite Vikings gift, Tony Bell, and who's your MVP?
I got tickets from my then wife. I got tickets to a Vikings game. We played the Niners in '94, the Monday night game, and I got tickets to that.
That's a nice one. That's a really nice gift.
Yeah, I got tickets to that. As far as my MVP goes, me for having to deal with this friggin' team all year.
It's tough.
I'm gonna give it to Jalen Redmond.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to Jalen Redmond. And I mean, it's if you're oh god, this is the funny part. If your MVP is your kicker.
I mean, honestly, you got to say, out of all the Vikings, he's been the most reliable.
Yeah, that doesn't say much about your offense
or defense, really. It's not really saying much of anything.
Yeah, it doesn't say much about the team. I mean, if your most reliable person is basically your special teams,
which the rest of the special teams has been atrocious this year.
Yeah,
like I said, Ryan Wright's been good kicking. Let's give Wright. He's been good punting. The kicking has been great this year. But, I mean, Will Reichard's really – I don't want to jinx him because remember Blair Walsh had that unbelievable year for the Vikings. He kicked them into the playoffs, literally. And then, unfortunately, the Seattle Seahawks playoff game happened. And ever since that particular moment, Blair Walsh has never been the same. But so far –
oh, please.
Knock on the old wood. Will Reichard's been the real deal. I mean, he's been tremendous for the Vikings. It seems like there's nowhere where he can't. I want to see him kick a 70-yarder. See, I think he'll get close. I mean,
with our luck, it wouldn't even get close. He'd get blocked.
Yeah, get blocked and return the other way.
I mean, it's just, but once again, if it's your kicker, your team's got some issues.
All right, I have a couple favorite gifts, Vikings gifts. One that my then girlfriend got me the 1997 NFC wildcard game was a little delayed, but Quality Control, my then girlfriend, now wife, got me tickets to go see the Vikings in the playoffs at Giants Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. The game I left 5 minutes early, and all my buddies and coworkers at ESPN let me have it when I
He will never live it down.
Len Weiner, my boss, came in and goes, "Hey, Eric, it's 5 minutes early. Why don't you leave?" So, I missed that. One of the great Viking wins coming back. That was the game where Denny Green pissed me off. I did tell him this. He punted the ball with like 2 minutes. And I looked at the two Giants fans we were sitting next to, really nice guys. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but the weather's really bad. It was starting to snow, sleet a little bit. And it was cold as hell there, as you can imagine, the wind at Giants Stadium. And I'm like, listen, guys, good luck. I think they were playing the 49ers or the Packers the following week. And I'm like, good luck in the playoffs. You know, I'll root for you guys. It was a pleasure sitting next to you. And then we walked out. And then, of course, that's Jake Reed touchdown, onside kick. And Eddie Drink and B. Murray get the game-winning field goal. And the Vikings won. And I didn't see it. I was somewhere driving back from New Jersey to Connecticut. So that was one of my favorites. And then my mom did buy me a Fran Tarkenton helmet. It wasn't a Fran. It was just the similar helmet, the old school. And I was running around the backyard. Thank God there were no cameras, with the helmet on, pretending I was Fran Tarkenton, throwing the ball around. I looked pretty much like a special needs kid, my purple helmet on, you know, just running around, catching the ball, thinking I was Fran Tarkenton. But you know what? That helmet, I mean, that helmet had nicks on it. I played football. Whenever we played, I'd bring the helmet out. It was just a great, cool gift, right? So I had the Fran Tarkenton-like helmet. And those were pretty expensive to get. That was an authentic, and I beat it up pretty badly. But I did look like a special needs kid running around like, "Oh, get some on, Fran Tarkenton." Yeah. But anyway, we had a little fun. I mean, you know, those we're looking at memorable gifts. Those are two. If you guys have any, share it with us. Anything, jersey, let us know on the page. We'll respond. But let's get to our purple headlines. The big headline that really came about this week, and you posted it on the page, Tony, is Max Brosmer is going to start, and J.J. McCarthy has a fractured hand. I guess the big question to ask, Tony, I mean, and this is the second time JJ's hurt his hand. I don't know. It's just a freak happening. You know, I saw the play. He threw it. He was being rushed, and he hit the guy right on the helmet. And he played the game with that, though, because that happened early, and he continued to play. And then was getting a little cooler. He was having a hard time gripping the ball.
Well, he literally dropped that ball on the fumble.
Yeah, he dropped it. That was the one
he literally dropped the ball.
He was going to dirt it because I guess Jefferson wasn't open. I didn't see the other side of that, and you know everyone was jumping on Brian O'Neill. But that's the play. You leave Burns unblocked because you want the Giants to come on that side, and the play was going to the other side.
You can't leave Burns as fast as he is, no matter how many muscles he's got.
Not Pythons, man. Not Mr. Python.
No, you can't leave. I mean, the guy's
up there showing them.
Biceps. You can't leave him off the edge like that with a clear player.
I love Burns. Other than his uniform number, I mean, that's another guy. Really, you got to have 0. What are you doing, right? What are these guys doing? I see. I've been paid 0. It's like no.
Well, he's been playing like 0 anyway.
Yeah, he's one of the guys that, you know, when we do like the season-ending thing after the Packers, he'll be one of the guys I think that will be showing the door and say thank you very much. Other than that, I think we just did our Vikings MVP. Let's do a quick player focus. Tony Bell, and this will be quick because there's not a lot to go by.
Wow, we're already down to the 4th wide receiver focus.
But you know something? Hey, I'll say this. Felton's been a really good special teams player.
I give him that.
You know, in the NFL, and you know this, Tony, you know playing. If you're one of those borderline guys or you're a guy that has to earn the respect, you got to play special teams, right? Yeah. And Felton's done it. He's done a really nice job. He's not a gunner, but he's one of the top guys that flies down the field. He gets there. He gives it. So he's Obviously, I'd like to see him more in these final 2 weeks, right? I mean, I want to see what this guy is. No offense, we know what Justin Jefferson is. We know what drops Jordan Addison is. We know what TJ Hawkinson is. You know what? If you're going to keep those guys, probably those guys you're going to keep. What about him? I mean, this is 2 weeks you got. And here's the other aspect of it too, Tony. And Max Brosmer has confidence throwing to Felton, right? So maybe in this game, we'll see him throw to him. What do you think about that?
You want me to have faith in this coaching staff to do something that they should do, and we know damn well they're not going to do. And I want to see him play. I want to see him play more 3 wide receivers. I want to see him at wide receiver 3. You're going to see Naylor a lot too, because now Naylor's auditioning. He's going to get paid. He's trying to get paid.
But what does this guy have? Can this guy literally be a wide receiver 3 for you? That's what you have to determine at this point, assuming you're keeping Addison in the offseason and you're going to bring those 2 guys back. That Felton would be the guy that would naturally be.
Felton would be my number 3. But here's the thing, though. I mean, if you get rid of Addison, which he's had the drops this year, his production's off. I mean, there's no guarantee they don't go out there and get a legit number 2 receiver.
True.
Even if they sign Naylor.
True. After they save money or whatever they're going to do, how they're ever going to restructure contracts, after cutting players, after trading possible players, you're right. At some point, they're going to have a wide receiving too. If it's not Addison, it's going to be someone else. I don't believe, unless Felton plays these next 2 games and has over 100 yards and has 3 or 4 touchdowns, that you have any confidence that he's ready for that role yet. But, you know, I see him. He's a little bigger than Percy Harvin. I think he can be a weapon. I mean, they drafted him in the 3rd round out of Maryland this past year, which you could have asked yourself, could they have used another cornerback or defensive back or maybe a linebacker or, you know, maybe another offensive lineman for depth purposes, but they went with him. And I would have thought we'd have seen more of him. And with Kevin O'Connell, you would have thought he would have game planned some plays for him. But he has 3 catches, everybody, for 25 yards so far. That's it. That's all we know of Felton. Moving forward, hopefully he'll get that opportunity, and he should get that opportunity in these last 2 weeks, starting on Christmas Day against the Lions. But
let's just put it out there. Everything this year with this offense has been off kilter, and it's not all.
It doesn't make sense.
Not all on the quarterback, okay?
But you think you're
not all on the quarterback.
No, and stop with the hatred, everyone. This is like, you know, everyone that they're calling, oh, your savior. Oh, your savior. Wait a minute. No, he's Minnesota Vikings quarterback. We should all be behind him, right? I mean, I never rooted for Kirk Cousins to lose or have bad things happen to him. You know, I was thinking more along the lines that he just didn't have it to get it done. But we waited how many years before we made that judgment, right? We had to sit through.
I knew that. I made that judgment right away. I knew.
I did too. Right after the Chicago Bears game.
I knew it. I knew it when they signed him. He wasn't that type of quarterback that we needed.
No.
So, but yet I'm not a Viking fan because I bash Kirk Cousins.
How could you be a Viking? But not, I mean, but inside, realistically, Tony, you and I both rooted for him to win when it's game day. None of us have I don't have any ill will to Kirk Cousins other than he didn't deliver what we needed him to deliver. Other than that, I mean, yeah, he had wonderful stats. If you had fantasy players that he was throwing to, you were pretty happy. But he just didn't deliver when they need one playoff win for how many millions of dollars? Hundreds of millions of dollars. Not worth it. Not worth it. And yet everyone wants to jump on J.J. McCarthy, who has yet to play a year. The only thing I can say about J.J. McCarthy and my criticism is now he has a tag associated with him. He does. He's very brittle. He's been hurt way too much. And I don't know if this is just something that's going to happen just this year, Tony, or better, right? And maybe he's getting us all out of his system. But he's had 3 major injuries in 2 years. And that's not good statistically numbers when you're asking your quarterback, a guy to be there. That was the one thing about Kirk Cousins. You might not like Kirk, but the one thing, he was going to show up every freaking week. He showed up, right? Until you got that horrible injury on the Lambeau Field. He showed up. He was at least reliable. You got to be reliable to be a starting quarterback in the NFL. You've got to.
So, okay, he might be brittle as a player, but I'm going to go back 30 years. Remember Robert Smith?
Yeah. Yeah. They had a lot of issues with Robert Smith. And then, you know what? It didn't happen. He got it all out of his system, and then he was.
Robert had 2 reconstructive knee surgeries.
Yes, he did.
What about Terry Allen, people?
Yeah, that's right.
There are it could be he's just right now because once, and first of all, another thing too, he didn't play in preseason, he didn't play much in training.
That's on the coaching staff. Way too much confidence that JJ was ready. And listen, I thought he was ready. I think all of us thought he was ready, and it was quite.
I think you know what, we thought he was ready because they told us he was ready.
Thank you, because
we believed them.
Like they should have. Exactly right, Tony.
But here's the thing. This is a problem with KLC. He thinks he could just plug and play any quarterback. No, you can plug and play a veteran quarterback, maybe. You can't plug and play a rookie quarterback because you don't know how to coach them.
Exactly.
And you're not willing to work with them to get them comfortable, especially mobile ones.
Right. And that is something in which he prefers the drop back, old school, Matthew Stafford, Kirk Cousins-like quarterback than he does the modern-day quarterback, which are able to extend plays like Drake May and Josh Allen. The game's changed. The game has changed. You have to have some mobility to play quarterback.
And here's the worst.
Let them run when it's time that they got to run, make a play.
And here's the worst part of it.
4 rushing TDs. Tony, he's got 4 rushing TDs. So he's at the right times to run and help the Vikings out. So,
and the worst part of it this year is that coaching staff, KLC knew that offensive line had issues, but they still wanted both J.J. McCarthy and Carson Wentz and Max Brosmer to take a 7-step drop back and sit in the pocket and wait for a play to develop. You're waiting for your wide receivers to break 10-yard routes.
Exactly. Elongating. And listen, I know Detroit's secondary is banged up, but one thing that they won't be is that defensive line with Hutchinson. They're going to be coming after Max Brosmer a lot. You got to have plays where he's releasing the ball on the first look, constantly getting the ball out quickly, like Phillip Rivers did the other night. You got to just get rid of the ball. Don't even throw it.
And it's funny. I didn't know the 49er pass rush was that bad.
Yeah, they were.
I didn't.
Rivers, that is one of the great stories of the NFL. That is must watch. Listen, in all honesty, I would not have watched a single moment of the 49ers Colts game if it wasn't for Phillip Rivers. I mean, I figured the 49ers were going to wipe them out.
I was actually cheering for Rivers.
I was too. I was rooting for the Colts.
I was, but it's just
I hated those uniforms. They look like the line.
Yeah, they can burn those. But I mean,
but the Rivers was moving right to. That was a game where I think there was like 2 punts the whole game. It seemed like 2 punts.
But then they were making Brock Purdy look like Joe Montana.
They were. I mean, it was the same pattern to Kittle's.
Yeah,
they didn't make any. I mean, the Colts defense was really.
I thought the Colts had a pretty good defense at one time. What happened?
Their whole secondary got. I mean, Sauce Gardner out. Their other guy who's all pro safety.
Well, Bynum is still there. Where's he?
No, everyone was saying, "Ooh, do you miss Cam Bynum?" Not after last night. Not after last night. What I saw.
I'm like, it's like
they just got. They just got their defensive tackle back last night too. So.
Who's at the Colts?
Yeah.
Buckner?
He had been out for a while. So they had a lot of injuries. I mean, the Colts are one of those teams where you can almost give a pass because of all the injuries. I mean, losing Daniel Jones, losing Sauce Gardner, key guys on the defense. That defense is a shell of itself. Having to call a 44-year-old quarterback out of his high school to come play for you, but it was exciting. I mean, it was.
I thought they had to call him from the buffet because that's where he looks like he's been hanging in.
That helmet. I remember Sean Hill for the Vikings when the helmet barely stayed on his face. That helmet was struggling. If the helmet could talk, it would be telling Phillip Rivers, "Man, you got to drink some more water, need some more salads," because Anthony Towson, McCarthy, Kelly Mason, Hawkins, they're all all hurt for the Vikings.
It's time for Kelly to hang it up. Don't be shocked.
Yeah, that's a
He
great
gets an
point.
injury. He's going to get an
Another
injury
concussion.
settlement.
Bird one of the year, and he had that Gazoo looking protection on us. He's got to retire.
He's
Tony.
going to get an injury settlement. So you're going to have to look for a center next year.
Yeah, because Jurgens. I was going to text you the first play that Jurgens was in. Dexter Lawrence just picked him up, moved him to the left, and went right in. And I'm like, oh God Almighty, oh boy, oh that is rough. Yeah, we might see some Xavier Scott on Christmas. Yeah, it might be. I mean, the running backs are banged.
Which I'm fine with.
What's that?
I'm fine with seeing Scott.
Because this is a game in which, look, would it be nice to sweep the Lions and knock them out of the playoffs? Sure. And you know what? Who knows? Maybe they get a couple breaks. The Lions defense is a shell of its former self with all the injuries they've had to their secondary. The Steelers were
here's the thing. The Lions can't stop the run.
They can't stop the run. So it could be a great time to let Xavier Scott get his feet wet. Or I kind of think Aaron Jones Sr. will be playing against the Lions because he always does well against the Lions.
You know what? And he is one hit away from being knocked out of the game.
Yeah, that's true. That hammy is a concern. I don't know if I would be, because listen, Aaron's got to think about the rest of his life after football, and if you rupture an Achilles, which hammies kind of start the beginning stages of it, you got to be careful, right? And Aaron Jones Sr. has nothing left to prove to anyone. He's one of the most liked players on any team. Kevin O'Connell absolutely loves Aaron Jones Sr. If he would come back on a very team-friendly one-year deal, I would consider bringing him back just because he's a great locker room guy and he could mentor the next guy. I don't think Jordan Mason's the next guy, but Jordan certainly is going to get more of the carries next year. The Vikings got to have. Is it going to be Xavier Scott? Is it going to be someone they draft or get as an undrafted rookie next year? All these things are in play, but the Vikings need to have a good running game, and they need to run the ball more next season, right? And preferably starting Thursday, because you really need to start running the ball more when you have Max Brosmer as your quarterback.
Brosmer's going to put the ball up 40 times.
He probably will. And he'll probably have 15 dropbacks of 5 to 7 steps for 20-yard passes. Inside the numbers, the Vikings and Lions, they've met a lot of times. The Vikings, pretty much to almost a 2-1 advantage in the all-time series, are going to go for the sweep. They beat the Lions on November 2nd, 27-24. The Lions are 6-point favorites in this game, probably due to the fact that the Vikings are playing their backup quarterback. The over and under is a pretty manageable 44.5. The money line, heavy, Detroit minus 279 to minus 320 to win. So you got to put a lot of money to get anything from the Detroit winning. Where Minnesota, you put $100 down, you could win 200, 260. Might be worth that, right? It might be, if you got $100, you can.
You know what? I would avoid this game altogether.
I would avoid it because it's going to be ugly.
Yeah.
That game against the Giants was ugly. I don't know. I mean, I give it to the players, Tony. They haven't quit, and nor will they. But I think whoever gets up early in this game, they're going to roll with it. It's just going to be.
Well, and now here's the thing, too. They talk about the Vikings on a short week, but the Vikings are at home. The Lions are coming off a short week where they played that really emotional game against the Steelers.
Physical game against the Steelers.
Physical. And now you got to play a Viking team. We're not as physical, but, it's you're not at home.
Yeah.
So.
And the Lions have all the pressure on their shoulders because they're hanging by a thread in the playoff scenarios. They have to win this game.
And you know what? We get on KOC for his questionable coaching decisions and stuff. Dan Campbell made a couple Sunday that you're kind of like, take the points, idiot.
Yeah, exactly right. Absolutely. Top fantasy plays in this game. I think anything that you go with as far as the Lions, Goff, Gibbs, St. Brown would probably be a safe bet. The Lions have to win this game, so those guys will probably have big games. As far as the Vikings, again, their defense. If you have the Vikings defense, if you have players on that defense, I would consider playing them because they've been very, very good. And I think that they are going to be extra amped, Tony, because it is the Detroit Lions, and they want to make sure that the Lions suffer what they do, which is no playoffs.
No playoffs, yeah.
This is an elimination game. The Vikings will be a little bit more up to be the bad guys, bad company at home at US Bank Stadium. So we'll see what happens there. All right, Tony, for X's and O's, you take center stage. What are we talking about tonight?
Can we talk about all the drop passes by the wide receivers
do we
this
have
year?
to? Oh my Lord!
Yes, we have to because it's a problem.
Hold on. Jordan Addison has just dropped another pass. Can we report that? Or wait, hey, Jalen Naylor, way to pop the ball up in the air for the other team to simply put their hands on.
Well, put it this way: if what's his name doesn't jump off sides, we lose Sunday because Naylor decided to tip a pass to Tyler Nubin.
That's right. Thank God to Abdul.
He got a touchdown back, which is funny. I mean,
let me ask you, is this something that the receivers are having a hard time because of McCarthy's velocity? You played the game. I mean, is it the spin off the ball? Is it getting used to? Because it does seem, for whatever reason, I'll pull some stats here in a minute because I knew you were doing this topic. Is that the issue? I mean, this is like unlike anything I've seen, and it's easy to blame rookie quarterback or a banged up veteran in Carson Wentz or an undrafted rookie quarterback. But really, this is more on the players, man. And Justin Jefferson's been one of the biggest culprits.
They get your hands on the ball, you got to catch it. You're a wide receiver. You got gloves on. What are you talking about? It hurts.
Thank you.
You ain't got no excuses. All you do is run around, catch ball. They
didn't drop that many passes for Brett Favre, who threw the ball pretty damn hard, or Dan Marino, the super marks. They seemingly didn't drop that many balls. John Elway's receivers.
John Elway threw the hardest ball in the NFL.
They taped their fingers because when John threw it, it was thrown so hard they were breaking the fingers. So
yeah,
they still caught the balls with taped fingers. So
yeah,
I don't want to hear this. He throws the ball too hard. Okay, here's
the thing. So you're telling me he throws a hard ball and he throws the same type of ball now that he did in Michigan, and Loveland and those guys could catch the ball, but you mean All-Pro Jefferson and Addison can't?
Future Hall of Famer Justin Jefferson can't. T.J. Hawkinson, one of the better tight ends, can't. I mean, what is going on with this?
This is a whole thing. There's problems with this offense, but they only want to put the blame on one person, and that's the rookie. It's all the rookie's fault. No, it's not all the rookie's fault, people. It starts at the top. It starts with the play calling. It starts with who they've lined up at offensive line this year. It starts with you put together an offense that works best for your rookie. And you're not running the ball. You told us before the season started the reason you got Jordan Mason, the reason you got Will Fries, the reason you got Ryan Kelly. You were going to play more 12, more 2 tight end sets, and you were going to run the ball more. And what did you not do, Kevin O'Connell?
Yeah, no doubt. Here's some statistics that add to this. In 220 attempts, Tony Bell, 17 drops for J.J. McCarthy, an incredible 11.9% dropped passes for your rookie quarterback. Some of those were by Justin Jefferson. Some of those were in the end zone like Jordan Addison. It certainly could have made for the receivers and the quarterback having better numbers. Carson Wentz, 169 attempts, 4 drops, only 3.5 for him. So maybe the veteran spun it a little bit better, knew when to take the velocity off the ball. You can argue all that kind of stuff. For Max, not a lot of data to go by. 47 attempts, 3 drops, 8.8%. But it just seems to me like that has been the underlying factor. We can talk about the lack of the running game, rookie quarterback not being ready, Kevin O'Connell's coaching. The one area in which we all expected the Vikings to be really, really good at was wide receiver, and they've had a notoriously bad season this year. All of them.
I'm just going to put it out there. This was a bad year for J.J. McCarthy, and it was a bad year because his supporting cast let him down.
Yeah.
They let him down big time, from the offensive line to the wide receivers to the offensive coaches. They let him down. As a rookie quarterback, they let him down. They basically let him to slaughter. And the injuries have proven it. You didn't help your young quarterback. Matter of fact, you put him out there and hope to God it was like sink or swim. And
It's
he went
like
down
Kevin
like
O'Connell doesn't like J.J. McCarthy and wanted him to fail to prove a point to management. Almost like that.
You know what? And now that you bring that up, I can see him in the office the day after the Green Bay game talking about, I want a veteran quarterback in here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And
I can see
get
that.
one. Hopefully Jameis Winston. I'd love to see it, but they'll probably get one. But
I would take Jameis in a heartbeat.
J.J. McCarthy will be the starting quarterback next year. So everyone out there, whether you love or hate him, you better get used to that idea. And the kid's got to stay healthy and show us that winning moxie that he's had wherever he's gone as far as high school, college, and into the pro game now. So I think it's there. I haven't lost faith in JJ.
I haven't lost faith in JJ at all, but when his high school coach sits there and tells you, he even said it, Kevin O'Connell's not calling the offense that works best to his strengths.
No, and I think you're seeing that.
Warner has even said it.
And you even said this, Tony, too. There's some friction going on between O'Connell and McCarthy.
Well, there was. If anybody saw it on Sunday, there was some friction there where it looked like JJ basically blew off Kevin O'Connell's call. So, and everybody, a lot of people were like, well, that's why you need a veteran. That's not going to happen. Guess what? You got Aaron Rodgers in here? Yeah.
Disaster city. Sorry. I'm not buying it. I like Aaron Rodgers. We've talked about this before. If this was 3 or 4 or 5 years ago, I would love to have Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers now with Kevin O'Connell, by the 8th game of the year, he would have been on McAfee just ripping KOC.
Or he may not even be ripping, he would just be calling his own plays. He wouldn't be listening to Kevin O'Connell.
He'd be blowing him off.
He wouldn't be listening. That's ego-wise. Yeah, that's ego-wise why Kevin O'Connell wanted J.J. McCarthy, wanted the rookie, because he knew the rookie was going to listen to him.
And then to get Carson Wentz when the season started because of, basically the Falcons exposed JJ, because here's the thing, you didn't make any changes at halftime to give him more blocking. They were still coming full. You didn't make adjustments, which he doesn't do.
I think that's where Kevin O'Connell's coaching it regressed this year. It didn't take the step forward that we thought, because we thought he was going to game plan towards JJ's strengths, and he didn't. He went to his own strengths, was stubborn, thought that JJ was able to handle it. Clearly was not. You saw that right away. You saw it in the first 3 quarters in Chicago. Before JJ just got to winging it. And you saw what happened when JJ just wings it and plays loose and free. They came back and won that game. So that's got to be the moment in which Kevin O'Connell has to sit in his office, and I just don't think he's going to do it, Tony. I've got to put a system in place that's going to enhance JJ. When we know Kevin O'Connell's like, I got to have a quarterback that's going to do it my way and throw those elongated 30, 40-yard passes.
Well, you know what?
They play touchdowns.
If I'm that front office and I'm Mark Wilf, I'm looking at that team out on the West Coast that's going to make the playoffs with the coach that they literally badmouthed him so they could get KOC.
Yeah, and the Chargers are the sneaky.
And the Chargers are the sneaky favorite to get to the Super Bowl.
No one's talking about them, really. Just the way Jim Harbaugh likes it, quiet, but we're playing really good ball. They've had more injuries than you can even shake a tree at, okay?
Yeah.
2 of their best offensive linemen, 2 of the best offensive linemen in the game.
Their bookends are both hurt.
And and Justin Herbert's playing with a broken hand, for crying out loud. Maybe it's his non-throwing hand, but still, think about that. Every time he gets hit on that hand, which is probably a lot, or every time he goes to brace himself to fall, that's got to hurt like you know what. So give that team. They're tough like their coach. They're built on both sides of the ball in the trenches, Tony, and the Chargers could be one of those surprise teams. And I know a lot of teams in the AFC don't want to play the Chargers, the Texans, the Patriots, the Bills. They're a little leery of Jim Harbaugh, Mr. Khaki Pants. Mr. I got those grandma glasses, right? The Chargers. They're the lovable losers. Well,
but you know what? This organization didn't want him.
Yeah.
Well, he was too old school.
We're going to live by that, unfortunately, for the rest of the days, right? Unfortunately. Our big 3, Tony, really quickly, and then we'll get to our predictions and final thoughts. I mean, it's pretty simple in this game. I mean, honestly, you got to stop Jahmyr Gibbs. I mean, I know he didn't play well against the Steelers until late, but I just think that how he goes, if he starts off fast, then the Vikings could be in for a very long day. He is a super talented running back, and it opens things up for Jared Goff to do his play action. Jared Goff's having an amazing season, by the way, not record-wise. They're 8-7, but he's got 32 touchdown passes to 5 interceptions, and he's thrown for over 4,000 yards. It's a record year, I think, in Lions history.
You know what, though? To throw all that many yards, TDs, and very few interceptions and still only win 8 games.
It's kind of incredible, isn't it? It says a lot. Like, the Lions have just been – they're probably – I mean, if you were to say biggest disappointment in the NFL, well, there's a couple. The Ravens are up there, right? I had them as the Buccaneers. If they don't make the playoffs, that's a huge – I had the Buccaneers and Ravens in the Super Bowl. I mean, I got 2 teams – that won't even possibly make the playoffs. But if the Lions don't make the playoffs,
it's bad in Baltimore. They want John Harbaugh gone.
You know what? I've got to say something about John Harbaugh. It was some of the worst coaching I've ever seen, Tony Bell.
That was bad.
You have Derrick Henry,
and you don't use him.
And you don't use him after he was just a drive before he ran the ball right down the Patriots' throats for a touchdown. And then you decide to put Keaton Mitchell in instead of staying with Henry. That is a kind of move, Tony. If they don't make the playoffs, gets you fired. And I tell you what, he could be one of the guys.
Well, he's living off that one Super Bowl he won, basically.
He is, right? Like they say that about Tomlin, but like Tomlin's, I like to listen. If John Harbaugh and Mike Tomlin are not retained by their teams, they'll be some of the quickest hirings you've ever seen.
Yeah, they'll be the ones turning down gigs because either they want to retire.
They'll be so quickly hired by another team, though. Both of them will. But yeah, you're right. John has been a long time since he won us. It's been like ages since Mike Tomlin's won a playoff game. But I mean, the Steelers again are probably going to win their division. John Harbaugh, Ravens still have a chance, but it's in Huntley's hands, and it is a battle of backup quarterbacks, right? The Ravens and Packers. It's Willis versus Huntley. I mean, the Packers, they're in jeopardy. There's so many great stories in NFL Week 17. I mean, we could do a whole show on it. But basically, big 3, stop Gibbs, let that pass defense continually do its thing, keep Brown and that high-powered Lions offense out of the end zone, force them to kick field goals, bend but don't break, and then somehow run the ball, attack that secondary. This could be a good matchup for Mad Max. This could be the Lions secondary is really bad. I think if they can keep Max safe from the Lions pass rush, that's a big if with Hutchinson. It could be a lot closer game, and we'll get into that in just a moment. Get pressure on Goff like they did when they beat Detroit in Detroit on November 2nd. Get pressure. And I know Goff is very good against the blitz, but Flores is going to want to bring the kitchen sink and attack the Lions. Because he wins. If the Lions lose this game, Vikings win this game, like we said earlier, Brian Flores is going to get a possible head coaching job. So he's playing for a lot. He's got his defense amped up. And if they beat the Lions, the Vikings finish out the season with 5 straight wins, this is going to mean a lot. This means a lot to the defense and to Flores, this game against the Lions. So, but anyway, that's our big 3. But Tony, let's get to it as we wrap this up. Predictions and final thoughts. Anthony Tollison on our page, 17-14 Vikings. Your thought on what is going to happen Christmas night, and then your final thoughts. And we want to wish everyone out there happy holidays.
Well, it's a home game, and this is something KOC doesn't do is win at home. He hasn't beat the Lions at home in the last 2 or 3 tries. He's got to win this game at home.
You and I thought about this prior to the show, and if anyone knows this, and maybe someone wants to do a quick check, and but we could look this up, I suppose. I was a little busy to look this up. If the Vikings do lose to the Detroit Lions, they'll have a losing record at home. But they finished 5-4 on the road. When's the last time that a Minnesota Vikings team had a winning record as a road team and a losing record at home. I don't know. It's probably happened in the 60 some odd years that the Vikings have played football, but I don't know. When's the last time that has happened? And if someone knows that, post it here. But I agree with you, Tony. This is an interesting game. So your thoughts on it and who's winning and why?
I'm gonna go. It's gonna go down to the wire.
Will Reichert, the MVP.
Max is gonna do enough, and it'll be Will Reichert at the end. Vikings 26, Lions 23.
Tony Bell bringing the positivity. I for selfish thoughts and an easier schedule next year, see it as the Detroit Lions because they're pretty healthy at all their offensive position. I mean, they are missing Sam Laporta. That is a big loss for them. But I just think with Jahmyr Gibbs, I just think with Amon St. Brown, Jared Goff, I just think because the Vikings are not probably going to be able to move the ball as much against Detroit with Mad Max at quarterback, I think the Lions will win a gritty game 24-13.
But this is the same Lions team we beat in Detroit.
Yeah, I know, but we had JJ, and I'm not saying JJ is a huge difference over Max at this point, but I just felt like, McCarthy's still better and could you do just enough? If McCarthy was playing in this game, I would probably take the Vikings. But he's not. I can't get that Seattle game out of my mind, Tony. I can't. I'm sorry. It still that pass that he made. Look, Detroit's defense is not as good as Seattle's defense.
Well, you know what? We could have avoided that altogether if our idiot of a head coach and play caller had went with a field goal.
Yeah, or just run the football.
Yeah, just run the football.
Try running. But, it'll be interesting to see. Listen, Vikings could win this game, and they certainly could win that last game of the year. They could finish the season with 5 straight years and 5 straight wins, and as disastrous as the season has been, it certainly would be considered somewhat of a major comeback.
You would be a disappointment, but you would actually be above 500.
You'd be above 500, right? I mean,
yeah, you would be 9-8.
So
which changes your draft position. It doesn't so much as change your schedule. You're still going to face the 4 teams in the AFC and the NFC in their divisions, but you'll get the one where
a tougher schedule. A little tougher schedule. You have the 3rd place or second, whatever, however that finishes. Green Bay. But
you got to remember that's based off of this year's records. These teams are going to be completely different next year.
Oh, of course they will be. And they're both. And listen, if Detroit does not make the playoffs this year, which really they probably won't. That is a huge disappointment for them because their time, every year goes by, it gets harder and harder.
Why is anybody surprised by this?
No, and it's Detroit football when it's all.
It's Detroit. Why is anybody act like, oh my God, they just fell off? No,
they just cannot stay.
In all the years we have watched football, especially this division, Detroit is one of those teams where they'll have 2 good years, 3 bad years, 2 good years, and then 10 bad years.
I'm going to tell you, man, the NFC North, that division is about young teams right now. The Bears are a very, very young team.
The Bears are also one and done in the playoffs.
Yeah, I think so too, because they've won a lot of games, kind of like the Vikings did.
They're like the Vikings in 2022.
2022, a lot of crazy wins. The Buffalo win, this and that. The Bears with the win against the Pats was a really great game. There were a lot of great games this past week, but I just don't feel the confidence that they're going to be able to.
And now here's a playoff preview for you now. The Bears this week are going to play the Niners.
Yeah. I think the 49ers are on all gears right now. They are on all gears right now. They are playing that offense. And, they've had injuries to that offense.
They've had injuries up the yin-yang all year.
Warner. When they had the injuries that they did, I thought to myself, how is Kyle Shanahan going to stay afloat in that tough NFC West division? They could win the NFC West and win the number 1 seed in the NFC. It's not going to be easy, but it's that is an amazing. I know everyone says Mike Vrabel should get Coach of the Year. I think Kyle Shanahan should be
I'd
considered.
give it to Vrabel before I give anything to Shanahan.
So I mean, it's a tough situation because I mean,
And I'll tell you what, the coach in Carolina is a possibility too, because they're playing Seattle this week at home.
yeah, they're
Carolina.
playing Seattle. I mean,
So
Carolina.
you could see Sam Darnold look like Sam Darnold.
You could be seeing ghosts this weekend.
Yep.
So anyway, for Tony Bell, for Quality Control, from yours truly, we want to wish everyone on here a very, very Merry Christmas and, of course, Happy New Year. We will be back after we open our Christmas presents, have a few drinks, drink the eggnog, whatever. I don't drink eggnog. I don't like it.
I don't drink eggnog
I'll
either.
have something else. I'll have some Coke and some whiskey. We'll have some live. It could be a fun show. Might not be. Who knows? But we will talk Lions, Vikings. We will wrap up that game, the good, bad, and ugly, on Thursday night. So, Tony, Merry Christmas to you and your family, and to everyone out there. Skol.
Skol.
Thanks for watching. We'll be back after the game on Thursday for our post-game wrap-up show. Remember, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and tell your friends about us. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Skol!